Hello, my name is Andrew, and well, today I want to talk about VTubers a little bit. There's a lot going on in the VTuber industry pretty much all the time, but there was a lot this weekend. Hololive Justice was announced like a week ago, and then debuted over the weekend. That kind of came out of nowhere. But I want to focus on more so why VTubers are amazing for the entertainment sphere, entertainment streaming sphere itself. And well, first let's discuss what is a VTuber, just in case you don't know. Traditionally, streamers on Twitch typically just use their face. They may use a green screen like you see here, but they tend to just showcase their face rather than have something to be behind. Where VTubers decide to take a different route. They have an avatar made for them so that they can stream. VTubing started to get popular in the early to mid 2020s during the pandemic and has just continued to grow since then. And I think it's been a very important thing for the industry, this whole streaming industry, to begin to do. And why is this important is kind of a big deal. And why is the first place that I feel like I have to mention in the why it's important. I need to go back to Ronnie James Dio. He was a heavy metal music artist in the 70s and 80s, really one of the godfathers of heavy metal. And during that time, another thing got really popular, which was MTV, music television. And what happened during this time, what he observed, or I'm paraphrasing on all this, but what he observed is that when you have a lot of music television, music videos, a lot of these music producers found that it was a lot easier to get a lot more fans and money if, rather than paying attention to how good the music being made was, if the people making the music looked good. And during this time, you can normally see in the 80s and 90s, there are a lot of bands that in those times have one-hit wonders. And what I take from what he said was that it is not exactly about how good the music is, it's just how you look presenting the music. Or in another easier way to term it, it's not, you don't look at, they were looking at the book cover, not the entirety of the book. And I feel like that's the same with VTubing and streaming. To relate it more to streaming, it is less about the way that you have to present yourself and more about the way that you present your content, the quality of the stuff that you bring out. And it's very important to understand that in the streaming industry, women have not had the best time or the easiest time to be able to do this. There have been women reporting that after, working on Twitch or YouTube, showing their face, people, they will get stalkers that want to show up at their house just uninvited. And that is terrifying. But it's definitely something that women are being held to higher standards. Asmongold said on one of his streams that women have a harder time. And there are ways to easily get followers, but what happens in that case is that you get followers that want a very specific thing, and if you try to deviate from that, they're gone. They're jumping ship, they're leaving, you've lost it all. You're going to have to restart anew anyways. So I think one of the things that's great is that VTubing allows you to be in this position where you can just do what you want and not feel like at any point you're going to have stalkers show up at your front door or any terrible things happen. We're now at a time that, no matter what your circumstances, you can try doing something. You can, instead of having to be a potential person that has some sort of medical disabilities that makes it maybe not great to be seen or viewed by other people, you're able to go and be with a VTuber model and just kind of throw that all out the window and just be entertaining. And that's what's important, is in entertainment, is just be entertaining. And I think being able to be a VTuber is something that allows you to flourish in the industry and allow you to do so many different things. And I mean, really, who wants to wake up every day and have to spend, half an hour, however long to get themselves ready to basically go to work? that's what it is. You're trying to do a job, you're wanting to go to work, and if you're ending up being harassed, that's a terrible thing. And with VTubing, there is some harassment here and there, probably, but at the end of the day, it is a way still you have that barrier between yourself and your viewers. So they can't really do anything that is super ultra hurtful. And for another thing is that the VTubing industry allows this to just be a more women dominated market. It is a lot of VTubers and a lot of women thrive in this industry, in the streaming sphere, when typically it's been a man dominated sphere already, and it has finally given women the ability to not have to be judged as much from other viewers. They get to do whatever they want, however they want, because again, it's not about necessarily exactly how they present themselves. There is a limitation to that. A lot of people do like looking at models, the VTuber models, my apologies, but they don't have to hold themselves accountable for the way they are presenting themselves necessarily all the time. You can always just save up money and get a better model if it's not good. And it becomes more about the book that you're opening, not just the cover again. So, what VTubing allows is people, and mostly women, get to present themselves in a much more calmer fashion without having to put their face out there, really, not being able to have this barrier that keeps them safe from creeps. There's creeps on the internet. We all know this. It's out there. And I think there's also a lot of ways that you can use VTubing in other interesting ways that aren't just, hey, get rid of the creeps. Iron Mouse is an amazing example. Somebody who has said on stream, as far as I know before, that they've been hooked up to an IV while streaming. That is something that would be not super pleasant to the eyes. And going back to the Ronnie James Dio thing and how MTV was starting and producers were starting to pull people in for the way they looked and not what they brought, you can see that people do want to look at things that are at least somewhat pleasing to look at. And looking at somebody that might have needles in them is something that people don't want to see. It would be something that might be disturbing for some others. But with a VTubing model, you don't have to worry about that. You just go stream and not even care. You can just hit the stream button, get going. No one has to worry about that. And I'm not trying to say that VTubing can carry people. The whole thing is that you're not no longer judging the book necessarily by its cover. You're dealing with what's inside the book. You're not looking at the cover and being like, yes or no. You can to a certain degree with VTubing. Obviously, there's different levels of models and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I feel that it allows viewers to judge things by the way they present content versus the way they look. I'm gonna be frank at this point. I've recorded everything prior to this yesterday, and it might be a little bit stagnant, a little bit like, I don't know, how's this looking? But this is kind of what this is. It's me experimenting, trying to make videos and everything, and just trying to do something. At the end of the day, that's what a lot of VTubers have done. They've just tried something, and that's all you can really do is just try. And I think if I want to make a point of any of this, it's going to be that I think VTubers are great and are something that showcase the growth of streaming itself. It becomes so much more accessible to so many different people. I think it allows people to thrive now in an environment that has not been great to thrive in for certain individuals. So I'm here to just say I hope VTubers stay. Can't wait to see what new VTubers they find. Can't wait to see VTubers that I did find do amazing things, because that's what's great. If you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. I'm experimenting so much with life right now. It's been a weird experience to try to do stuff that I did years ago, tried multiple times, didn't work, and now I finally feel like I had the confidence in my last job to go and I started to get more confidence. It's weird. You work in a warehouse, you get more confident about stuff. And, well, we'll see where this journey takes us. You know, it'll be great to see. You made it this far. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a comment if you hate it, like it, love it, anything in between. It'll be great. Like the video or don't, or hate it. It doesn't matter. I'm not in charge of you. I'm not your dad or your mom. You can do what you want. You're your own person. Uh, you know, you can kind of do that. I guess I'll end this video by just saying it would be great to see what VTubing brings to us in the next coming year. Thank you. Have a good one.